Alrighty, we continue. It is the Zach Gelb Show on the Infinity Sports Network. What a win this past weekend for Ole Miss up against Georgia. A 28-10 victory. Ole Miss is now ranked 10th in the country. They are 8-2, and now joining us as a senior safety for the program in Trey Washington, who had 6 tackles in the big victory. And Trey is kind enough to join us right now. First and foremost, Trey, congratulations and thanks so much for doing this. How you been?
Thank you. I'm good. It was a really good experience out there, and it was one we'll all remember for a good minute.
Your defense was pretty much flawless in the game. When you look back at what happened on Saturday, just how do you kind of reflect on what your defense was able to do?
I think it started with practice and preparation during the week. We were focused, and obviously the game started unfortunate for us with the interception. But looking in the guys' eyes, as soon as we went out there, even though we let up a touchdown, it was like everyone was ready to go out there and execute and continue playing good football. So it was really good to see.
A lot of people, when we talk about Ole Miss nationally, it's all about Lane Kiffin. It's all about the offense, but the defense really made a statement, and they were the strongest unit on both teams in the game from this past Saturday. Just what is the identity of your defense being with the program for so many years?
Well, we say spot the ball, so wherever and however we get on the field, it's all about playing physical and making sure people remember when you come in contact with them. So it's all about that, and we emphasize the ball a lot. So takeaways, with the fumbles and John getting the interception, it's all about the ball, and yeah, that's what it showed.
I know the game is never over, but in that fourth quarter, there had to be a moment where it was pretty evident to you that you guys were going to win. And then there was the mayhem on the field after the game with everyone storming the field and all your Ole Miss fans out there. And the Grove was basically
Yeah.
right on the field. Just what was that scene like for you navigating through all that chaos after the game?
Yeah, it was crazy. Our coaches are so wired in that like even in the fourth quarter, we were wired to like triple zeros until it hit the end of the game. So even when the people came on the field, coaches were pushing them off, ready to continue playing football. So they did a good job of wiring us, and it was chaotic, but it was really 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 fun. So yeah.
It's so cool. It's so fun to celebrate with all the fans on the field, but you want to get back into the locker room and really enjoy it with the people that you sweat it out with each and every day to get a moment like this. How do
Yeah.
you just describe that locker room once everyone was able to get back in safely?
I say long time coming since I've been here. Like, we were looking for that statement type win against a top team that does a really good job of being competitive every year. So, after being in that locker room, it was like, man, it was like a relief because you work so hard in the summer and winter and preparation and all that. So it was good to feel fulfillment with that.
Why was this time different? Like you said, long time coming. You've been in these games before. They haven't gone your way up against these quote unquote elite teams. Why was this time different for your program?
I'll say mentality. Like we were going there. We weren't we may have been the underdogs and all that, but the coaches were like they did such a good job of keeping us blind to all the media and all that. We were just focusing on each rep in and out. So I say last time in the last few years we may have went in with the underdog mentality, like we gotta play so good, we gotta play so perfect. But nah, this time it was go out there and play fast and never flinch. So yeah, I'll say that was the difference.
There were high expectations for this team this year. And at some point, like middle of the season, people were like, oh, Ole Miss has been disappointing. Already have 2 losses, even though your
Yeah.
2 losses are by a combined 6 total points and one happened in overtime. Now you guys are back moving in the right direction. People are talking about college football playoff. Just, I know there's only a few games left in the regular season, and then you guys have aspirations for bigger things. But how dangerous do you think this team could be?
I think it's really dangerous, and we've known that even after the loss. Like if we go back and watch the film, the differentials are not, as you said, they're very low. So we just had to focus on finishing and playing really good, efficient football in all phases of the game. So that's what it's going to be for us here on out. That's the challenge, playing really good football in all phases, and that's what we're motivated to continue doing.
When you have a group that comes back, like a lot of you guys elected to do, and come back and play for Coach Kiffin another year, when you get off to a little bit of a bumpy start, sometimes I've seen it before. Teams check out. They start thinking about the next level. Oh, was it the right decision to come on back? And there's some regret. Why
Mhm.
was this team, and I know the job's not done yet, able to
Yeah.
be so far so resilient and so tough and have a response like what we saw on Saturday?
I think it's because the coaches did a good job of bringing in people with good character traits. Like it's not all about them. It's not all about individual success. We're so locked in to become a good team, and especially speak defense when I say that because that's the part I'm on. So we do a good job of practicing good and practicing together and trying to get this all figured out. Getting this all chess game figured out because that's all defense is making sure we're all on the same page out there. And we did a good job of moving on from the losses and not getting so down on ourselves, or especially not pointing the finger to your teammates, because that's the worst thing that can happen. So we did a good job of looking inside and seeing how we can get better as individuals and help the team. So that's what we did. And yeah.
Trey Washington here with us. So, hey, when you're getting a program to a certain direction, everyone right has to overcome tough losses and humiliating moments. Like you went up against this team last year, Georgia. You guys got smacked 52-17. Now you guys smacked them this past weekend. What did you guys take from that game last year when you look back at it, and how did it make you guys be the team that we now see today?
Coach Golden, he started the week with that game. We watched film on that game as a defense just to have in our minds what it felt like and how it felt walking off the field and how it felt like watching the film after the game and all of that. So he did a good job of making sure we had that on our minds. And when we went out there, we were making sure that didn't happen again, that we are making sure that we left a stamp on the game. And yeah.
You guys got to their offense, and you even said the touchdown you guys allowed, right? You guys were on a short field to start off the game after the unfortunate interception that
Mhm.
Jackson threw. What made Carson Beck and that offense such a favorable matchup for your defense?
Um, oh, I think we have like the faceless opponent type mentality. So they have tendencies and stuff like that that we tried to take advantage of, and we tried to just play good team defense as a whole. So that's what the motivation was.
Let me get to your quarterback, Jackson Dart. Unfortunate start, right? Gets banged up. We're thinking maybe he's not going to be able to come back, and then he gets on the field and has a pretty damn good game. Just how about the
Yeah.
toughness of your signal caller and Jackson Dart?
Yeah, that's what we pride ourselves on, toughness. And when you got a guy like that leading the team, it's just a good thing to have. So when we see him battling injury and still going out there, still not sliding, we try to get him to slide, but still not sliding, going at their team like that, it's really fun to see. And when you see a guy like that having that mentality, you can't help but try to have the same thing on defense.
How do you kind of reflect on your journey so far at Ole Miss? You've been there now for a few years, right? You're a senior. You're just coming off the biggest win of your career with the program, but you've seen some downs, you've seen some ups with this team. How do you kind of describe the journey and the road?
Yeah, it's been it's been crazy. Like I said, those games where you just kind of come up short a lot and all that, it can be hard, but that's why you enjoy moments like this where you're kind of on the high end of the roller coaster. But it's been a great journey, and I would say the people are my favorite part of the journey, like all the different people I've met on this thing, and having these teammates, especially with this team, like the teammates being so driven to be great every day. It's just a fun building to be around, and yeah, I'll cherish this experience forever.
Why did you elect to go to Ole Miss when you were making your decision?
I wanted to be a part of what Kiffin had building. Like I felt like, of course, he has to come to the party and the sip type thing, but I think he was building something like more than that. It was bringing a community together in Oxford, like a small underdog type community, and I really like the underdog mentality. So that was something I wanted to be a part of, and yeah.
In the recruiting meetings, how did you see what he was building? Like, was it just based off his reputation in the past, or was it once you get it in front of someone, you could really tell if they're authentic or if they're phony?
I would say like obviously I was a COVID recruit, so I had
Yeah, true.
Zoom
Via
meetings.
Zoom.
Yeah. I had Zoom meetings like that, and I actually didn't get to like come up here on an official visit or anything. So it was just the vibe that I got from the coaching staff. Like they were all driven to make sure I left better than I came. That's on the field and off the field as well. So that was I wanted to be a part of that because I knew they would pour into me, not only as a football player, but as a man.
Last thing I'll ask you, your defensive coordinator, Pete Golding, who just got it to the program 2 years ago, what has he
Mhm.
brought, especially on that defensive side of the ball for Ole Miss football?
I'll say for me personally, I say it all the time, like he helped me so much. He helped me so much with the mental aspect of the game, like seeing the X's and O's, like he sees them out in the field, so I can play so much more faster and be confident in my movement out there. So he's really great guy to be around, and he's helped me with that part of the game. And he does a great job of making sure we keep the mentality of chasing the ball no matter what and playing together. So yeah.
Hey, Trey, some people put limitations on this program. They just call you really good. You guys can't be great. Obviously, a win like Saturday can change that narrative. Did you guys hear that outside noise a little bit about people doubting you, and how much does it kind of motivate you?
Yeah, after the LSU loss and obviously Kentucky, we heard a lot of that as a team, and we just kind of, it is what it is. Like people on the outside, they don't know like the real work you put in and um how much we put into this thing. So we realized like after that, we just had to look at ourselves and make sure we keep this thing together because that's all that matters as a team, making sure we stay together and we go out there and play for the guy next to you. So that's what we're going to continue doing.
No, heck of a defensive performance, heck of a team performance, and what a victory up against Georgia. Good health and good luck the rest of the way. I appreciate you doing this.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.